tell us a little bit about the founding journey and obviously that move here?
So thank you. Since I've moved here a few weeks ago, I thought I'd relay so you get a brain dump in the next 5 minutes and save a month or a year of messing around with everything. So number one, let me touch on very quickly company creation and so on. So, there are a few different models. Number one, you've got an Irish Topcoat. Everything's out of Ireland, and you can go off to New York or the US, and you can hire people as contractors here, and you don't need to set up a US corporation. But they're very litigious in the US. So what you want to do quite quickly if you're doing business here is create a US subsidiary. But you might also at some point want to do the Delaware flip and move the top code to the US, where you can fundraise more easily in the US. Doesn't mean you have to make a US top code, but you can do that. And my goal is to make all of this dramatically easier, because everything I had to do for myself, I want to productize it to make it easy. So there's now SeedLegals US. So the first thing that people tell you is that your first hire in the US is often a highly overpaid marketing person, and you realize the only thing they can sell is themselves, because you suddenly become used to the American, more everything's awesome, and you're much more, UK, Irish, modest. So you believe everything. So, the thing to do is the founder get their butt on a plane and go to New York, which I did back in November, and then more recently, I've now somewhat partially moved here. So New York is amazing for startup networking. You can subscribe to Tori Hanson's newsletter. She's a Brit who's moved to New York. There are literally 30 events a week. You can spend your entire day doing events. There are even GVX and Brits in New York events, and Irish in New York events, of course. And there, my goal has been, when I go to an event in London, most startups know SeedLegals and our customers and know me. When I go to New York, 0 people know me or SeedLegals. What's the fewest number of weeks to change that? And of course, you want to do that in your industry. So by going to an event and going to find the person running the event, you can then look to partner. And I'm amazed at how small a world it is. Person standing at the back, we met at an event. Turns out he works for my cousin, or worked for my cousin, selling software to law firms. So maybe we could do so. Who knows? It's amazing. So the move to New York is working out, learning the local ecosystem quickly. The way people buy and sell is different. But the other thing is, if you're raising from American investors, everything here, because it's a huge market, has to be dialed up. And when you're in Ireland, I think people in Ireland often look to London and the UK startup ecosystem as being bigger and valuations higher. And in the UK, we look to the US as being higher. Turns out when you get to New York, they're a bit insecure in New York. They look to the Bay Area as being higher than New York. But you need to focus on the huge US market, dial up the valuations to match that, and have the awesomeness level dialed up to compete with other US founders rather than what you're used to at home. So I don't know if that covers the 101, but anything that I can help with, I think my details are there. Drop me a note, and whether it be SeedLegals or just plain advice, I'm delighted to help. And working on an article to all these things to do to expand to the US that people pay tens of thousands to lawyers for are mostly solvable with a blog post that says do this and do this, and $500 in Stripe Atlas gets you a Delaware Corp, do not pay more, and so on.